To start, I need to give some background. I'm a woman who lives in a relatively nice neighborhood. It's your average small town, run-of-the-mill suburbs area with not a lot of people. I'm a college kid who's home on break while my parents have gone away, which doesn't help at all. I have a 2-story house. I do not have a gun, nor do I have any real weapons other than kitchen knives. I'm not on any medication, and I have no record of schizophrenia or any other mental illnesses. I barely have any relationships with my neighbors, most of whom are elderly, and the rest I have minimal contact with. I do not have any people in my neighborhood, that I know of, who have any reasons to attack or harm me. Now, let's get into what had been happening. About 2 nights ago, I woke up very late in the night and I went to the bathroom to go pee. Now, my 2nd-story bathroom has a window that can see the entirety of my backyard. Directly behind it is a cul-de-sac, which you can see directly into. There's a group of trees and a pile of rocks and mulch that divides it. Usually I can see everything in my back room without turning on my lights. As I'm using the toilet, I look outside and notice there is a car parked directly facing my house in the cul-de-sac. Now, if you've ever seen a cul-de-sac before, you would know that when you park, you either park next to the curves of the cul-de-sac or the sides of the street. This car was directly facing the curve behind my house. I thought this was extremely strange, considering whoever parked must have been there to visit someone. But if that were the case, then why would they have not parked in one of their driveways? The people who lived behind me were both elderly, so they probably didn't have some big block party I didn't know about. And even then, only an idiot would park like that. As I stared into the car, I could distinguish a figure in the driver's seat, just sitting there. Since the lights were not on in my bathroom, whoever was in the car probably couldn't see me through the window. At this point, I was so determined just to see who the fuck was in there. So I went downstairs, got my binoculars from my dad's closet, and went back to my bathroom to see who was there. Take in mind, this was 3 a.m. What person would be in their car just sitting there in the middle of the winter? As I go into my bathroom, I look outside to find nothing. The car had since left. I thought it was a relief, seeing I probably was just freaking myself out over nothing, and the person was just leaving whoever they were visiting. But then again, what are the odds that the moment I notice the car, that's the moment the person leaves? I finally calmed myself down and went back to sleep. The next day, a mix of boredom and paranoia got the better of me. I decided it was time for some investigation. I go to my backyard cul-de-sac to see if there were any trace of the person who was there last night. Nothing. I go to my neighbors to see if they had anyone over the other night. Maybe it would clarify why the fuck someone would be parked back there. I asked both the owners of the 2 houses on the curves of the cul-de-sac, all of whom said they did not have any visitors. I asked for their numbers, and I left. This is when my paranoia really started to kick in. This was screwed up. I had no clue whether the person was coming back later, and I can't call the police as they won't respond to a complaint that isn't even valid. I decided to wait until later to see if the person came back. I spent that night talking to my college friends about it over the video chat, all of whom thought I was either making it up or freaking out over nothing. I sign off and watch Netflix until it's pretty late. The entire time I just kept thinking about looking out my window to check. But since my friends had told me I was worrying about nothing, and also since I am a bit of a coward, I just never checked it. Finally, the clock ticked 3:24 a.m., the exact time I woke up the night before. I thought, fuck it, might as well check to be sure. This is when I absolutely shit myself. The same exact car was parked, and was a man in a black hoodie and a ski mask standing right next to it, just staring at my house. I immediately ran to go get my phone, dialed my neighbors, none of which answered. I ran back to the window, only to see that he was standing in my fucking backyard. This was no longer a burglary attempt, Because if it was, he would have looked through my lower house windows trying to break in. This had to be some sort of stalker. I decided, screw this, and opened up my window and screamed at the top of my lungs, "Who the fuck are you?" No response. "I'm going to call the police! Get off my property!" I yelled. Finally, the man spoke. "Have a nice day," in that cheery way a cashier at the store would say when you're leaving. The man waltzed, and I literally mean waltzed, like a happy cartoon character, back to his car and left. I called the police department immediately. They asked me if I had any friends who were trying to play a prank on me. I said no. Like I said, this town was relatively small, and the police did jack shit. They told me that if this happens again, to call them immediately. It's currently 11 p.m., and God knows he'll be back tonight. I'm going to be looking out my window all night waiting for him. I'll keep you all in touch if anything happens. Wish me luck. 12:24 a.m. I'm currently staring outside, looking out my window, waiting for a man to come. I have informed my neighbors about his arrival, and they have told me they are also on the lookout. I feel extremely nervous, but at least I have my neighbors helping me out. I just want this to be over. 1:24 a.m. Nothing has shown up yet. Got a call from my mom about half an hour ago. I haven't told them about any of this happening. I just told her I loved her and hung up the phone. My friends have been Snapchatting me, asking me about this. I said that I'll try to get a picture of him if I can. If I do, I'll upload it so you guys can see. 1:34 a.m. Neighbors told me they see a car parked up the street from them. One of my neighbors, who's in his mid-40s, says he's going to check it out. My foot is tapping the floor like crazy now. 1:37 a.m. False alarm. Turns out it was just the car of the family who just got home. The suspense is making me sick. 1:48 a.m. One of my neighbors said he's going to sleep. This isn't good. I just hope the rest of them holds out for me until the rest of the night. I don't know if I'm going to fall asleep at all. I've already chugged 2 cups of coffee, and I'm as alert as possible. 2:11 a.m. I was looking out my window when I heard something in the bushes in my backyard. I couldn't tell whether it was the guy, the wind, or some animal. So I turned on the light in my backyard and saw nothing. I think the paranoia is getting to me. 2:17 a.m. Alright, it's official. I'm losing my mind. I heard something crash in my kitchen, and I ran down to see what was happening. Some pan had fallen over from the shelf. Nothing notable, but it scared the absolute shit out of me. I went back upstairs to start looking at the window again. I wanted the streets right of my backyard, which was about 200 yards away. Through the trees, I see a car at the corner flashing its brights repeatedly and then making a right, driving away from the street leading to my house. What the hell is going on? Is he taunting me? 2:32 a.m. Alright, I'm freaked the hell out. I'm out of here. I'm bringing my laptop and wallet and phone with me and staying in my neighbor's house. I'm not staying here for another second. Fuck that. 2:40 a.m. I'm currently at my neighbor's house, staring into my backyard cul-de-sac. I walked out of my back door and sprinted and rang the doorbell as fast as possible. They saw me and opened the door immediately. Scariest thing I've ever done. I was worried he's going to pull up any second. Now I just wait and hope for the best. 2:51 a.m. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened. I am dreading what will happen at 3:24 though. I saw 2 cars pass by my house. I couldn't tell if they were the same car as the one stalking me was using. At the same time, I can't tell if it was the same car passing by both ways. This guy was playing tricks on my mind. I'm ready to dial 911 at any second now. I called my parents and told them what is happening. They said they will be on their way home tomorrow. God, please protect me. 3:01 a.m. This guy is definitely coming. A car came up the street on the cul-de-sac and started flashing its high beams again, and left. He's trying to mess with my mind. Thank God I left the house, because the direction he's going in, he's definitely coming back around to my house. I'm scared and I'm not even in my house anymore. The moment I can't even see him outside his car. I'm calling the police. 3:11 a.m. My neighbor and I both agree we are going to leave the house and drive to the police station as soon as we see him park near my house. My heart is racing. I can't believe I just waiting in my house alone for the past couple hours. I can't believe I had just been waiting in my house alone for the past couple hours. What the hell was I thinking? 3:20 a.m. Still nothing yet. Even if he doesn't come, I sure as hell am not going back. I'm not even sure if I will stay here. This is the scariest thing that has ever happened to me. 3:25 a.m. Someone has parked in my fucking driveway. I am getting the hell out of here. I'll try to update later if they arrest this guy, but I'm leaving now. I'm getting out of here.